The Be a Man podcast brought to you by Anchor. I'm CJ. I'm doing a solo episode. Good morning to everybody checking this out. So look, man, on Twitter, somebody sent me a DM and it was talking about a future episode idea, right? And this cat was talking about how to feel if you pursuing a woman and she end up picking somebody else over you. Now, this guy in the message, he was talking about how he perfectly played the friend zone position, waiting to be the next nigga up on deck when her and her man didn't work out. So like he was talking about, he was taking her on dates and shit. And like he was caking with her and everything. And out of the blue, here she come on Facebook in a relationship with some other guy, right? So he asked me like, how did that happen? And like, what did he do wrong, right? So this is gonna be my response to that. It really isn't about you doing anything wrong, man. Here's the thing that I want y'all to understand before I go into my spiel. Before I start my rant, I want y'all to understand that all of this shit is a game. I don't know how many times I can tell y'all this, fellas. Everything is a fucking game. Like all of this shit, life is about competition. And it's about fucking taking L's in between the W's. That's it. So when you was talking to this lady or trying to date her or trying to trying to pull her, understand that you weren't the only guy who she was giving her time and attention to, all right? Now, what happened was, it was more than one man competing for her once she became a free agent or once she got back on the market, right? So when you're competing, you gotta understand that you ain't the only guy going for the trophy, right? So all that happened was she just chose somebody else over you, man. That's street politics, like that's business, like that's, if you are applying for a job and you go to an interview, chances are you're not going to be the only person interviewing for that position. They may even have your interview staggered to where out in the waiting room or out in the lobby, you will meet other people who are auditioning or interviewing for the same role or for the same position that you are interviewing for. So you literally get to meet the people that are going for the same job that you want. You know, like in street politics, if you got two guys both selling coke to one block, whoever got the best coke at the best price is gonna get the most clientele. So it's not about, this really can't be like an emotional based thing, man. It just is what it is. You gotta understand that this shit is a game. Women choose and men choose. But in that scenario, you just gotta understand, like, it's a game. Like, don't take that shit personal, man. Like, just step your shit up and just keep going. Like, keep doing what you do, man. You know? You'll get chose by somebody. You just didn't get chose by her. And it may hurt because you may be feeling her. But you played yourself when you took the friend card, the friend zone, and you took the friend zone with the intention of one day becoming more. So you kind of played yourself in the beginning, and that's okay. But I want all men to know, man, like, this shit is just a game. Like, this isn't something that you hang your head about. You don't do that. Like, it's a game. Like, a homegirl chose somebody else. every position you apply for, you're not gonna get it. So guess what that meant? That means that company chose somebody else, right? They chose somebody else. I mean, and then too, like on the dating scene, everybody has gotten curved before. Everybody has shot at somebody and it wasn't reciprocated. Well, that's okay. You don't go out bashing the person or talking shit about the person or saying all women ain't shit and all men ain't. Nah, man. Like, you don't be bitter about it. You take your loss like a man. You know, you hold your head and you keep that shit pushing. There's nothing you can do also to make a person who don't want you. Like, there's nothing you can do. So the girl was never gonna choose you anyway, bro. You know what I mean? When people are on the open market, you gotta understand people are available to the highest bidder. So whoever can bid the highest is gonna be the person who normally ends up with the girl. And I'm not talking about the highest bidder as in like a monetary like sense. I'm talking about the highest bidder as in whoever offers the most value to that person at that time as far as what they want. So if it's you, let's just say it was a guy that sent me the DM to tell me the story and like two other guys, right? So the guy that sent me the DM, let's say she was like 40% attracted to him, right? But he was a good dude. And let's just say guy number two, she was like 70% attracted to, and he was a complete asshole, and he ain't really too much just care for her like that. And let's just say guy three, she was like 95% attracted to, and you know what I'm saying, like he was a combination of being an asshole but also being nice and caring and considerate. It don't matter what guy number one or guy number two do. Chances are guy number three is gonna be the guy who ends up with her. Guy number three is gonna win. 9 times out of 10, guy number three is gonna win in that scenario. And the reason why is simply because they just bring the most value. You know what I mean? Now, I know like when it comes to companies and organizations, there are biased hiring practices, right? That are like unjust. But in a fair system, if you're looking at it from like an honest, straight up, like the way that it's supposed to go type format, businesses and companies, they hire based on who brings the most value. That's what it's about. Like, so if I'm going up for a job, right, and I speak one language and I have a bachelor's degree, right, which I do, that's very true about me, and I'm going up for a position against a woman who has a master's and she speaks 3 languages fluently. So she speaks English, she speaks Spanish, and she speaks Arabic, right? Like perfect. Now, who do you think would be more valuable to a company? Me or the young lady I'm going up against? Easily it's gonna be the sister gonna get the job. And deservedly so. Like in that scenario, that woman would deserve the job over me easily. It's not even close. I can't compete. Not to say that she's smarter or I wouldn't be a better worker or work harder. It's just her resume is far more impressive. Her skill set is far more valuable to an organization. Because I could only assist English-speaking clients. She could assist the clientele and the partners who speak 3 different languages. So Spanish-speaking, Arabic-speaking, English-speaking, she is more valuable. So because she's more valuable, she gonna get the job. I can't be bitter. I can't be mad about that. You know, it is what it is. I charge that shit to the game and say, all right, well, look, I need to step my game up. Let me learn a second language. Let me go back to school and try to add on something like under my name, you know, if that's what I'm trying to do. But that was a good question, man. Like, that was a good question. Like, 'cause sometimes, and the main thing is that a lot of people in this generation weren't taught how to deal with rejection, right? So you'll see it like all the time, like a guy be shooting a shot at a girl and like he'll get rejected, and instead of just taking it in stride, they'll be on some bitter shit, like, you know, talking bad about the girl, or now she ugly, or now she fat, but just a while ago you were trying to fuck. But anyway, man, understand that life is about competition, man. And understand that you are always competing, always. If something is deemed desirable to you, understand you ain't the only person on this world that is desiring that thing. If it's a house that you've been looking at, like you're in the market trying to buy a house, understand that other people are looking at that house. If you're in the market for a new vehicle and you go to a dealership and you look at a car, you're not the only person, you're not the first person to look at that car. If you're single and you're dating out here and you met somebody, or you haven't met someone but you got your eyes on somebody, and you find this person to be all that in a bag of chips, understand that that person is all that in a bag of chips to about 10 other motherfuckers too. Right? So you can't look at it. But with that being said, that doesn't mean you change your approach. That doesn't mean you lose confidence in yourself. You don't worry about that shit, because that's a variable that has nothing to do with us. We have nothing to do with that type of variable, right? We just gotta be on our best. We gotta bring our best game, and we just gotta put ourselves in the best position to be successful. You know what I mean? Because if you want to get it, you got to go out and work for it. Like, you got to go claim it. You know what I mean? Like, no one's going to hand it to you. So that's something that you most definitely got to understand. So, yeah, man, like, just understand that all of this stuff is a game. It's all a game. The same way you sit on the couch and play PlayStation and Xbox and you trying to win, or you go online and you playing against motherfuckers you never met before, you're competing. You think you the only one that find that woman attractive? You think you the only one that want that high-paying salary position with good benefits? No, you're not the only one, man. So it's our job as men to sharpen our tools so we are the most desired option. So we're the most logical selection. That's what we got to do. We can't worry about, oh man, if she chose somebody over me, or they hired somebody over me. Women and companies, they're going to do what they want to do. They're going to always do what they want to do, man. So don't worry about that. Don't beat yourself up about shit like that, because it has nothing to do with us, man. Nothing, bro. So with that said, I'm CJ. This is the Be a Man podcast. Let me know what you guys think about this episode too. Me and Corin have a lot of good stuff, man, coming down the pipeline. So I'm gonna end this episode on this, but man, remember, it's all a game. All right, I'm CJ and I'm out.